Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Maritzah if you are new here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys look number 2 in the Valentine's Day series. It is this super soft yet bold, sexy Valentine's Day look, okay? Now there's two different versions of this. We have a matte version and then we have a glossy version here. Now you guys can do whatever version you like, but this is for the girlies who are not really into colorful eyeshadow, who want something simple, something elegant, something elevated, something sexy, all in one without doing like a whole beat down a color and dip it into so many different palettes. This is a one palette eye look, so if you are interested in this look, go ahead and keep on watching. But before you do that, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell, and let's get right into this makeup tutorial. So first I'm going in with the Makeup by Mario. I think this is the Skin Perfector bronzer. Either way, I'll list it down below on my shop mine, but I'm just going into the inner third, like almost my nose brow bone area, and just bronzing that up just to give this look like a bronzy feel and touch to it. Next, I'm going in all over my lid with the shade Matte number 5, and then I'm going to take the shade Matte number 10 from the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette, the first one, and I'm going to place that all over my outer third, and I'm just going to make sure that it's soft and blended, and also placing that into my inner third as well and into the crease. We're doing a cut crease today. Looking back, I wish I would have done a transition shade at the top, but it is what it is. This look is very easy as well. It's just a lot of blending and marrying the colors together. This is a one palette makeup look, so you can just use the Master Mattes or a palette that has the similar colors. You're going to take a detailed fluffy brush to do this. You're going to work smaller brush to bigger brush. That way it's easier for you to blend. And again, working dark to light. Taking clean fluffy brushes or one clean fluffy brush and just buffing out the edges. Make sure everything's smooth and soft. Here I'm going to go ahead and cut my crease. This is different than me carving out my lid, so I'm creating a new fake crease by doing this. Carving out my lid is just literally following my lid shape, so this is different than the previous look. Here I'm going to be taking the shade Matte number 3 as my lid color. And then I'm going to be taking that same shade, Matte number 10, and I'm going to just deepen that crease and also start blending these colors together so it's a nice smooth ombre. Now this tutorial is me recreating my soft glam with a pop of color look. Honestly, it's so hard to replicate old looks. I'm gonna paste the little eye icon up here so you guys can go back to that original video. I think the original looks better, but practice makes perfect. Here you're just going to start marrying the two colors together, and then you're going to place shade Matte number 1 in between the dark shade and Matte number 3, and you're going to start blending those together so that the ombre is super smooth and blended. That white shade brings out the dark pigment and also that Matte number 3 shade, so it allows the blending to be smoother. Alright, so we're going to get into this base now. The eyes are super easy. We'll touch up a little bit more on the eyes a little later, but let's get into this base. So of course, Milk Hydro Grip. I did want to introduce the Liss, well, I call it Liss Beauty, it's LYS Beauty, but the LYS Beauty concealers, they came out last year, a little bit late last year or midsummer, I don't know. But these are called the, I don't know, it's on the screen, it's not on the actual bottom of the packaging, so I don't know what they're actually called, but I'm going to be using them today. They are medium to full coverage concealers, which is great. I'm starting to fall out of love with my Makeup by Mario, and as I said in the voiceover, I really do miss my NARS concealer so much. I don't think that these compare to NARS. One thing I do like about these concealers is they have the sponge tip applicator. You just twist up kind of like the Maybelline concealers from, you know, way back when. I think they still sell them too. So that's what these do. I'm gonna be using the shade Dark Neutral 3 just for the base underneath my eyes. You can also take off the sponge applicator and just be able to deposit, which I think is good for makeup artists. If you're someone who does makeup for other people, you would really like this because there's a, you can take this off, twist up the product, and it still comes out. Thought that was pretty cool that you can do that. So it works for if you're doing like solo on your face, and then also if you are doing it for someone else. Thought that was pretty cool, nice and innovative. I don't know if the Maybelline does that too, but when I got the list ones, I was like, oh, I like that. So here I'm just trying to neutralize underneath my under eyes because there is some hyperpigmentation, and I just want that to be gone. I don't have the NYX blush that I use for color correcting, so I'm just gonna use what I have. I will say these are easy to blend. Like I said, it's medium to full coverage. I didn't do a full like review on these because I don't necessarily know, like I know how to review concealer, but I don't necessarily know how to review concealer because I don't really try to change concealers. Once I know it works for me, I kind of stick with it, even though I, you know, switched over to Makeup by Mario, but that's because I was in my Makeup by Mario craze stand like phase. I wasn't a stan, but you know what I mean? Like I was a stan with the makeup, not necessarily Mario himself, but I kind of just, you know, went straight for all his complexion products, but I don't really, I have under eye creases, so my concealer is gonna crease no matter what. I don't know how to film, you know, a concealer review. That's why I didn't do one. I did post a shorts of me talking about them. I do like them. I just don't know how to do a full review of them. Like, that's just not me. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. So I am now gonna go in with the Makeup by Mario foundation in 20N, which is 20 neutral. I think the color payoff of the LYS Beauty concealers is really nice. It matches my skin tone. I have two different shades. I have Dark Neutral 3, and then I also have Dark Golden 3. One has a neutral undertone, one has a golden undertone. I think they both match me well. One just might be a little bit brighter. I think the golden one was just a little bit brighter underneath my eyes. I don't like the way this brush smells. Why does it smell like that? That's not good. I don't like that. I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna wash this brush right after this video because no. So it also came with a brush for the campaign. So I'm gonna be using that. I should have used it for just neutralizing my under eye, but I'm gonna use it with the Dark Golden 3. I'm gonna mix this with the Makeup by Mario 320 concealer. So my own personal style of blending, I prefer a sponge over the brush. I think that the brush is good for, maybe for me, just me, would be good for concealing, like actual concealing with my complexion shade rather than what I'm doing now with like trying to highlight and everything. I would prefer to use a sponge. I just wanted to show you guys the brush. Now don't get me wrong, this is smooth, right? But to get like here, snatch my under eye and everything, much rather use a sponge. So I know a lot of makeup artists use brushes underneath the eye for concealer. I also used a lot of concealer, to be honest. Not a fan of having this much concealer underneath my eyes. But I just wanted to show you guys the product. It's okay. I'm not going anywhere. It's smooth, I will give it that. It's definitely medium to full coverage. It will definitely cover up the dark circles underneath your eyes. When I wore it, I didn't think I noticed any like cakiness or anything. It might be different this time because I did use the Makeup by Mario concealer with it, so I'm not entirely sure if it's gonna be cakey later on in the day, but this is what we got. So I'm gonna go off camera and finish my face. We're gonna do blush and finish off the eyes together, and then we're gonna do lips together. Everything else I'm gonna do off camera. So because I wanted something soft to match the eyes, because I want the lips to be the focus, I'm gonna go in with Peach for the Stars by Mented, and I'm just going to give this like just a pop of like softness on the cheeks. It's a very nice soft peachy blush, especially if you're my skin tone or deeper. This is one of my favorite blushes ever. It's really nice and pretty. Has some shimmer in there, so you get a little bit of highlight as well if you're into highlighter. I do think highlighter is coming back. Someone mentioned that on Threads, like they had a makeup prediction or beauty prediction, because there was a bunch of stuff like hair, nails and stuff, and they predicted that highlighter would be coming back. And I do agree that we'll be seeing highlighter coming back, because not this reason alone, but there was a campaign I was a part of last year for a brand that had a blush highlighter combo. So I think that's something we'll probably be seeing, is more of a blush highlighter combo instead of just highlighter on its own like we did in 2016. It'll be like a remake of it, which I'm not mad at. I think that's pretty cool because like I like stuff like this. Also, if my face seems cakey, I also don't have setting spray or refreshing spray, so just mist your face, set your face, all that stuff. I just don't have it. But back to the beauty prediction, I think that's really spot on. I think we're also going to see a lot of makeup wise, we're going to be seeing a lot more of, she mentioned this in her prediction, a lot of the OG makeup releases coming back, like OG products, and I agree. I think we're gonna see a lot of things being relaunched. I think seeing brands work with cult classic items, you know, that stuff's gonna come back around. I do think 2016 nostalgia will kind of be a big thing, and I think a lot of people are still kind of living in the past of that. I mean, there's some things from 2016 that I do enjoy and I do miss, but for the most part I like how we evolved. But I just thought I'd share that with you guys about like what could possibly be coming in, you know, makeup world. If you have any predictions, leave them down below. I think that would be a fun, cool topic to talk about here. I'm just looking forward to any product that I can incorporate into my routine that is going to give me what I'm looking for. Now that we've done the blush, I'm gonna go ahead and snatch underneath. I need a bigger makeup table. I have this little desk, and I need a longer table. I need drawers. I need the whole 9 yards. I cannot work on this little table anymore. Everything always knocks over. Also, thoughts on this concealer. I do find it to be a little bit more cakey underneath my eyes. I'm not used to this much concealer, but I will also say that was my own fault, because you guys saw that I did use a lot of concealer when I was applying it, because the applicator wasn't doing what I needed it to do. I do feel like it's not heavy underneath my eyes. I just don't like the finish of it because I used a lot. I think the finish on its own, because we saw what it looked like when I was just using it as a concealer as my complexion shade, I think that's really nice. I think I just used too much, and then also mixing it with the Makeup by Mario probably threw it off even more. But that's just kind of my thoughts right now looking at my face. And also I don't have, like I said, setting spray and refreshing spray and everything to kind of melt things together. So I think that's also another corporation of it. It's not too bad, but it's not my favorite. So that's how I feel about it. Okay, so my brows that I'm growing out, ignore them. My brows are on, blush is on, contours on. Let's finish off these eyes. Now I do want to add some black liner in my waterline. I'm gonna do that off camera. I have sensitive eyes. It's pretty self-explanatory. We're gonna get into the lashes and then we'll get into this lip. Okay, so I went ahead and off camera I applied brown mascara. So if you are doing a soft eye like this and you want like soft lashes, brown mascara is actually really good for that because it's a softer color than black. Brown mascara is going to give you a more natural, neutral looking look, opposed to black mascara being a little bit more dramatic and bold. And sometimes an eye look calls for black mascara and sometimes an eye look calls for brown mascara. I'm going to be going in with the Lily lashes. These are the half lashes in Wild Child. So I'm going to do a half lash look just because everything's kind of like winged out a little bit. So these are for my right eye. Now these are the self-adhesive lashes, so there's no need for any glue. Everything is linked down below in my shop my. So I'm just gonna apply them. Now I know the lashes are black and then my lashes are brown, but that's okay. So if you noticed, this eyelash now took the eye shape and, you know, just extended it upward. It winged it out. It's now going up. You know, it's kind of giving like an eye lift to my eye, and that's what I really wanted with this look. Now you can wear any traditional lash if you would like, or you can do a half lash that's maybe not as winged out as I put on a lash that is winged out. I don't know if that made sense, but you know what I'm trying to say. You don't have to wear the same lash that I do, but I just prefer it with this eye look. I think it complements it the best. The more winged out the lash is at the end, the more it flares out at the end, the better it looks with this eye look. And don't worry that, okay, like your lashes are brown and then the lash is black. Like, it's okay. No one's that close to your face at dinner. And if they are, tell them to back up. But you can also just go in with black mascara in the beginning of your lash, like at the outer third, and then, you know, end it with brown. Like, you can play around with mascara colors, guys. It's okay. Now, the one thing I don't like about these lashes, for whatever reason, there's a straggler here, and if I cut it, it changes the lash in its entirety, but like leaving it also just kind of like pisses me off, but whatever. So this is the eye look. All right, I really like it. I love how winged out it is. I love that it's this nice half cut crease, sultry eye. It's very soft. Now let's get into the boldness of the look, which is going to be the lips. Okay, so starting off with lips, I'm going to be using the Rhode Flex lip liner, and this is going to be my first color. I'm actually going to ombre my lips a little bit. You can just use whatever dark brown colors you have. You want to start off with a brown that's pretty dark, but not as dark as the next one. This is more of a neutral brown. The next one I'm going to use is warmer, so it's going to change the way that the lip looks. Now, Rhode does come with a contour tip on the other end, but I have no cap for this, so I'm not going to use that end. I'm just going to use a brush, and I'm going to blend this out here. Next, I'm going to be taking Fenty's I Would. Now, clearly I love this thing. One of my favorite lip liners ever. I just hate that I have to sharpen it. Over top of the Rhode, and just create that gradient. So you kind of see how it's warmer at the top and then softens into this softer cool tone brown. And then I'm just gonna blend it. So this was one of my favorite like trends to do. And well, I didn't do this a lot last year, but it was one of my favorite trends to see last year was people layering lip liners and blending and doing the ombre. Like, I know that's always been a thing, but again, we're seeing a lot of trends and tips and stuff being recycled. But like, as you get older and as you evolve, even if you aren't getting older, oh, we're all getting older, but you know what I mean? Like 6 months later, 3 months later, like as you evolve with your makeup, I tend to appreciate things more. You tend to appreciate things a lot more than you did before. Because I wasn't really a lip girly, but seeing all the Instagram videos of people ombreing their lips and all that, like really put me into wanting to do more lip looks. So next I'm gonna be going in with this mented lipstick. It's in the shade Red Carpet. It's like the perfect red. I've never used this before, so let's see what it does. Maybe I have used that before, I don't know. But I do think this is a very pretty lip. I just wanna do some blending. It gives it like a reddish purple look. It's not like a true red. It's like a vampy red. But you can leave it here if you like. You guys know I'm a gloss girl, okay? I love me a good gloss. I love me a good oil. So I'm gonna put that on, but before I do, I'm gonna show you guys the outfit and the look with just the bold red lip, and then we're gonna add some gloss. Okay, so here is the matte lip look. I am in love. I feel like the hair ties it together. This little kind of like almost like a Betty Boop moment, very cute. And I actually really hated this hairstyle last year, but I wanted to do the Zayn Malik thing. You know how he had just like that one couple strands of hair in the front. I tried to do that, it didn't work out, so I just did the swirl swoop, but I actually really like it with this look. And then the bows on the shoulder, it's just so cute. Now I know it's cold outside, Valentine's Day is in February, so you might not be able to have the bows on the shoulder unless you have something underneath, or you know, wear whatever you want, I don't care, you know, live your best Valentine's Day life. But this is what it looks like with the matte lip. Now, let's go ahead and gloss it up. This is the byeeee lip oil in Cherry on the Cake. We're just gonna gloss this up. If you get byeeee products, you're immediately hit with smells. There are so many smells, like in a good way. Like the scent to these things are so strong, but so tasty and good. Now you guys know me, I love me a good glossy lip. The gloss with it hits, okay? It eats, it does what it needs to do, and then some. Okay, yeah, this look eats so bad. So so that is it for today's Valentine's Day video. You can either go matte or glossy, whatever way you prefer, but no matter what, this look is very glamorous, very elegant. It's an elevated look. It's super simple, it's soft yet bold, and it's just very fun for Valentine's Day or just any occasion where you don't want to do like a bunch of colors on your eyes and have just colorful makeup. Maybe you're not into that thing, which is totally okay. So if you are wanting something that's a little bit more glamorous and elevated or sophisticated looking, this is it. Okay, shout out to Beyonce. It's sophisticated looking. That's what this that's what this look is giving. It's giving just
it's just grown. I don't know. I really like it. So if you guys are doing this look for Valentine's Day, I really hope that you feel beautiful with this look because it is a very pretty look. And I hope you have a wonderful and safe Valentine's Day. And I will see you guys all in my next Valentine's Day. I will see you guys all in my next Valentine's Day video or whatever video I put out next. Bye guys.